What is going on out there, YouTube? John the Laser Blue Junkie coming back at you again. And sorry for the little delay in the last video, but I promise you this one's going to be worth the wait. I have gotten a ton of new LaserDiscs. I've gotten a couple new Blu-rays, actually a couple of HD DVDs to go along with it. So it's just been a great last month or so, you know, finding stuff locally, hitting Craigslist, half-price books. A couple of LaserDisc Forever members sent me some stuff. eBay has been good to me, so it's just been like a great last month. So we'll kick it off first with some LaserDisc Forever members. First person, he only gave me one thing, but we traded for it. It's my buddy Jeremiah Johnson. Got me a copy of Young Einstein on LaserDisc. We actually traded for this. I traded him The Sandlot, and he traded me Young Einstein. Great movie. Actually saw this in the theater back in 1989. I made my parents take me to go see this movie because I just thought it looked great, and it's still a great movie. I have the DVD, but I've been wanting to get the LaserDisc for a while. Next person, another person I ended up trading with by the name of Jason Howe. Hopefully I'm saying that correctly. He went to a Goodwill, and he found a bunch of LaserDiscs there, and he said that, you know, does anybody need anything? And I saw this one movie that he had. I'm like, hey, I'll take it. I'll pay what you're asking for it, but do you want to trade? And he said, yeah, sure. So I actually was able to trade him something for this, so I ended up getting me a copy of Permanent Midnight for pretty much the cost of shipping. Great Ben Stiller flick. Easily, still to this day, the best Ben Stiller performance ever. This is a phenomenal film. If none of you have seen it, check it out. One of the few dramatic performances he ever gives, like, out of his whole career. So, great flick. Check it out. Next person, who goes by the name of Rich Rabid, he gets a big shout out. There's another page out there called the LaserDisc Collectors Club, and he put up a post, like a bunch of discs that he was selling, and he had like 3 titles all in one shot that I've been wanting to get forever. 3 of like one of my favorite trilogies of all time, and he sold them to me for a killer freaking price. I could not say no to these, and they all arrived safe. These were all like in freaking mint condition. So we will kick it off with Frank Henenlotter's Basket Case, one of my, oh god, just one of my all-time favorite monster movies, man. Frank Henenlotter is easily one of my favorite horror filmmakers. God, I love that man. I had a chance to meet him, but I met Albert Pune instead. I have no regrets on that. I absolutely have no regrets, because Albert Pune was debuting a film that still to this day, 5 years after I saw it, has not come out on DVD or Blu-ray, so at least I could say, hey, I met Albert Pune and I got to see a movie that hasn't even come out yet, so that's pretty cool. But Henenlotter was right down the street. But anyway, yeah, Basket Case on LaserDisc, happy to have that. And it wouldn't be complete without Basket Case 2, which is probably one of the better sequels out there. I mean, great sequel. Love what Henenlotter did with this one. He took it so far over the rails. It was so good. And then, of course, to cap it off, Basket Case 3, The Progeny. The lesser of the 3, but I do enjoy this movie, especially the little baby Belials. I think it's pretty cool. Again, Henenlotter just going crazy, but it's freaking awesome. So, believe it or not, that's it for the LaserDisc Forever members. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is, you know, but I got to buy some cool stuff, because mostly everything else here is straight up local. Found a bunch of good stuff. So, yesterday I actually took a trip out to the Goodwill over in a town called Bradley. That's like right near where I work. I work like 6 miles away from there, and I go there like every Friday. I'm always digging around, always hoping to find like a DVD or something like that either I can keep for myself or flip on eBay, make a couple extra bucks, or some high-end electronic equipment. But for once, this store actually got in some LaserDiscs, and they had like 2 really good titles here that I had to pick up for myself. Finally picked up The Indian Runner. Have not seen it, but I know it's a Sean Penn flick. Has like a killer cast. Charles Bronson's in it, so it was like, oh yeah, I knew all about this movie, so I was picking it up in a heartbeat. I've been wanting to check it out. And another movie that I've never seen, but I've always wanted to see this film, because like it has Billy Zane, Sam Neill, Nicole Kidman. If you haven't figured it out by now, you know, dead calm. So yeah, been wanting to check this out. I hear Billy Zane is just like terrific in this movie, so never had a chance to see it, so you know, cool. Finally got it on LaserDisc, all for $1, so there you go. Half-price books was next. Out of 2 separate trips, I came up, you know, pretty good, over 2 trips. The first trip netted me Excessive Force, Thomas Ian Griffith. Had this on VHS. I want to say I had this on VHS, but it's been like so long since I've seen it, so I completely forgot about it. So yeah, I can't even remember what it's about. I just know I liked it when I first saw it on like HBO back in the day. One movie I've never seen, but I did find it on DVD, and not to sound like too much of a jerk, I knew the DVD was going for a little bit of money, so I found it for $1 and I freaking sold it for like 20 or 25. But when I found the LaserDisc, I'm like, okay, I'm going to keep the LaserDisc. So this movie called Faithful has Cher, Chaz Palminteri, Ryan O'Neal. But yeah, it looked interesting. I mean, the DVD looked really good, but, you know, BS talks, money, you know, BS walks, money talks, as they say. So, yeah, money was more important at the time. But, yeah, at least I got on LaserDisc, so rectified it somehow. One movie that I never finally saw until recently, and it was an interesting movie, to say the least. Mother's Boys. I do have this on Blu-ray, actually. The whole reason I got the Blu-ray of this is because, back, I want to say like 2-3 years ago, Echo Bridge Entertainment, they originally held the rights to the Miramax catalog, or some of the, not all the rights, but some of the rights to the Miramax catalog, and they released like a bunch of budget Blu-rays and everything. Mother's Boys was one of those Blu-rays, and I believe it was only available at Best Buy stores, and right when it got a wide release, Miramax canceled their deal with Echo Bridge, and like all of the titles were on clearance, and I managed to get like a bunch of ones. Like I got Mother's Boys, I got Albino Alligator, Hellraiser Deader, bunch of these freaking movies that still have not come back into print because Lionsgate picked it all back up, and Lionsgate hasn't put this back out yet. So I did buy it on Blu-ray. It's still sealed. I didn't get a chance to watch, but then when I found the LaserDisc, you know, I was like, okay, cool, I'm gonna check this movie out. And man, this is one freaky weird movie. Jamie Lee Curtis basically going all Fatal Attraction here. So, I mean, it was pretty interesting. I didn't hate it. You know, I thought it was interesting. I may have to watch it again to get a final opinion. And one movie I remember not liking all that much, but hopefully I can give it a second chance because I finally found it on LaserDisc. Sphere. I remember I just was not impressed by this movie, but, you know, it's something I want to give another chance to. You know, I haven't seen it in years, so maybe I'll like it on a second shot. Who knows? But cool to have it on LaserDisc. One that I found last Sunday, I didn't even want to go out that day. Like, I had been partying with my buddy the night before, and I was just like, I don't want to go out anywhere. But then something just said, you need to go out. I'm like, okay, fine. I went out to Half Price Books, did not think I was going to find anything, but then they actually put a few new discs on the shelf, mostly Disney, but there were like a couple gems in there. Mainly one of them here being Fear City. I have not seen this, but I've been wanting to see this. Like, I didn't want to spend the money on the Blu-ray because, like, I think the Blu-ray's out of print now, so it's going for like not crazy prices, but a little bit higher than normal. But yeah, finally glad I got a copy of Fear City on LaserDisc. So, and I tested it's completely rot-free, so very happy about that one. And again, you talk about finding like a hidden gem, and it was just like, oh my god, I cannot believe this is in here for $3, man. The original full screen edition of Halloween. Now, I am on the fence on whether or not I want to keep this thing, because yeah, it's cool. Like, the jacket's in great shape. The disc is actually pretty rot-free. It has a couple speckles here and there, but like, you know, what do you expect from a 32-year-old LaserDisc? There's going to be a couple speckles here and there, but it's like almost clean. The problem is the transfer is so dated, and you'd really just be watching this for nostalgia purposes. I mean, it's cool to have the jacket and the sleeve and everything like that, but the movie itself, the transfer is just horrible. Give me my Criterion 2-disc any day of the week. That's the one I will watch all the time. So, but still, cool to find Halloween out in the wild for like $3. That just blew me away. So, yeah, that was it for Half Price. Now, a lot of you saw that I came into a pretty good Craigslist lot, I want to say almost a month ago. There was just like the worst story behind that. It turns out, well, the whole thing was this guy put up an ad on Craigslist saying he had like over 60 LaserDiscs and a LaserDisc player, and he listed all the titles, and he's like, a lot of these titles were killer freaking titles, man. A lot of late releases, you know, a lot of good horror movies. You know, I contacted the guy, and we scheduled a day to meet up, and nothing ever came out of it. Like, he never, I think I told you, like, in one of my last videos, I was supposed to meet this guy on a Sunday, and he just never freaking let me know anything. He just completely fell off the face of the earth. I come to find out that me and my buddy John, also named John incidentally enough, he was in contact with this guy as well, and then this guy just wrote him off just as much as he wrote me off. So I'm like, okay, something weird is going on here. So what I ended up doing was I emailed this guy through a different email address, and I was not apprehensive. I was not pushy with him. I just let this guy respond to me at his own pace. And eventually he did get back to me, and then I was very careful. I kept emailing him again. I said, okay, hey, can we meet up? And then he finally emailed me back with a phone number and address, and went out there, called him. He said it was all level, and came out with like a ton of discs. And a lot of those I sold off, but I'll get to the ones I kept. First one I had to keep was Maverick. And yeah, common title, but you know what? 100% rot-free. DADC pressing on top of that. So got a rot-free copy of Maverick. And it's a great movie on top of that. So glad to have it on LaserDisc finally. Don't own it on any other format but LaserDisc. So there you go. Another 2 movies that I do not own on any other format but LaserDisc now. City Slickers widescreen edition. Great movie. I remember my mom and dad rented this. I got to check it out many years ago. And the one sequel I've never seen, City Slickers 2, Legend of Curly's Gold. And best part about this, DADC Austria pressing, absolutely no rot on it. So, yeah, cool flick. Glad to check that one out. One that does have a skosh of rot, but nothing severe. Totally watchable. And I did not even know this version of this movie was even out on LaserDisc. It was a very big shock to see it. Was La Bamba. And this is just one great movie. You know, this was the movie that made Lou Diamond Phillips' career. It's a crying shame he's really not doing too much these days, but I've always liked this movie. A darn near accurate portrayal of Richie Valens. So great movie. Glad that this version came out on Lasers, because I think the 1988 pressing is like analog sound only, and it's in full screen. I mean, this is in full screen too, but I do not know if it's open matte or not. Nobody knows. So, but it's cool to have. One that I do have the special edition of, but from what I'm told, this particular version does not have the CGI sky or anything like that. American Graffiti, at least, again, I'm told this doesn't have it. I need to check it out and compare and contrast it with my 2-disc edition. So, but either way, if this has the original sky, then cool. I got American Graffiti again, so yay. One that I couldn't, again, this one's gonna sound stupid. Do not own this on any format, none. DVD, Blu-ray, not even VHS. I do not own it. And I saw it on LaserDisc. I'm like, well, this one's a pretty bad rotter, but I'm gonna test it anyway and see if it works. And to my shock, it is 100% clean, not a single solitary speckle, no rot whatsoever, and hook. I love this movie. You know, I saw it on VHS, I want to say when I was 10 or 11 years old. That's my parents got it for me. I thought it was a cool flick. I had no idea Steven Spielberg even did this when I was a kid. I just thought this was like a really cool Peter Pan flick, so I was like, awesome. You know, and then now I finally have it on a home video format and rot-free to boot, so even better. Another good flick that I had to keep this one because I am not a big Jim Jarmusch fan, but this is like probably my favorite Jim Jarmusch movie. Johnny Depp, Dead Man. I really do like this movie a lot. I do have this on Blu-ray with the double pack with Texas Rangers. But yeah, Dead Man, killer freaking flick. Great movie. Haven't seen it, check it out. Finally got part of my Tarantino collection complete, actually. Yeah, my Tarantino collection on LaserDisc is 100% complete with 4 rooms. Yes, this is done by 4 different directors, but Tarantino does have a segment in here, and this does complete the Tarantino collection. Great movie. Has yet to come out on Blu-ray in the United States. One of these days they need to change that. I would love to see a special edition Blu-ray release of this. Great movie. One that I've, again, do not own this on any format whatsoever other than LaserDisc now. I wanted to get it on Blu-ray, but I was too late. Buffy the Vampire Slayer. My wife is a huge Buffy nut. And, you know, I think she was really happy when I got this movie. So she's happy to finally have Buffy the Vampire Slayer. And now we're on to some of the big heavy hitters from that lot. First one up, one of these next 4 were like, this was why I was going after this lot. Finally got Empire Records on LaserDisc, original theatrical cut, AC3 soundtrack. This was a DADC pressing, but luckily the rot is not bad at all. It's like a couple speckles, you know, on the front and on side 1 and side 2, but nothing bad. Like, you can barely see them when you're sitting far back watching on TV. You can barely even see the speckles. There's no audio distortion, so it's like cool. I got like a darn near rot-free copy of Empire Records on LaserDisc, which is awesome. Because I would go after the Japanese pressing, but the Japanese pressing doesn't have the AC3 soundtrack, so that's kind of a deal breaker, so I wanted the AC3. One movie I have on HD DVD and now LaserDisc, Meet Joe Black. I do like this movie. you know, it has some parts that drag, but it's a pretty good flick nonetheless. You know, the last good film that Martin Brest did after he did this, he did Gigli, and we all know what happened after that. So, one that I had to get for the wife, because she wanted me to go get this lot just for this, her all-time favorite freaking movie, 10 Things I Hate About You. She loves this movie to death, so yeah, had to go get this lot just to make her happy. This is her, our anniversary, or I'm going to call it the birth-iversary, is next week. Her birthday is the day after our wedding anniversary, and, you know, this is her wedding, her anniversary gift / birthday gift, so she's been wanting this. And for myself, one of the other reasons I was getting this lot, and I couldn't believe I was holding it in my hands, man, I love this movie to death. So glad to have it on LaserDisc. American History X. Oh my god, such a great freaking movie. A lot of controversy behind the scenes with the making of this movie, but still, it is a good flick nonetheless. Have it on Blu-ray. So happy to have this on LaserDisc. So yeah, you know, this one's going to be cherished in the collection for a great long while. So that was it with the local pickups. Now we're on to internet stuff. First thing we're going to do is LaserDisc database pickups. Yes, I actually bought a couple movies off the database recently. One that actually popped up in my feed and only was 40 miles from my house, but I still had to get it mailed to me because I wasn't driving. Finally got Fist of the North Star. Oh, like my second favorite anime of all time, right behind Akira. This is my second favorite anime. Finally own it on LaserDisc. I did not think I was ever going to get it. Best part is, D80C pressing, 100% rot-free, not a speckle. So, looks phenomenal on LaserDisc. I'd say it looks just as good, if not slightly better than the DVD. So yeah, finally glad I have this. Like I said, I'm not a big anime fan, but for all you people who aren't anime fans, and if you want to like get introduced to anime, this is the movie to do it, especially if you're a Mad Max fan, because this movie copies Mad Max like to the T. So great flick nonetheless. So happy to have it. And this actually came in the mail today, and I'm very glad it did so I could do this video and not have to do a second one. Got It's Alive and It Lives Again. I wish It's Alive 3 would have came out on LaserDisc, but it never did. I think when they were going to do it, LaserDisc was too far gone, so I was lucky that this even came out. So, two great Larry Cohen flicks, man. Larry Cohen's like one of my favorite B-movie schlock directors. You know, The Stuff, man. That's like top 20 all-time favorite movies. So, but I love It's Alive and It Lives Again. These are two great movies. The third one's alright, but these two are where it's at, man. Two great movies. Had me a nice eBay pickup, couple eBay scores. This is down to the last three. And the last two are going to be some big heavy hitters. So, first one I had to get, this popped up again. This was a local eBay pickup. They were about 40 miles away, but had to get me a copy. This got the widescreen edition of Blazing Saddles. I've been wanting to get this one for a while, but it finally popped up for like a really good price. This doesn't go for a lot of money, but like it doesn't pop up a lot, and like it finally popped up. So I was like, okay, I'm snatching Blazing Saddles. Finally need to get this movie. One that popped up in my feed, and you better believe that I was getting this sucker because, yeah, I spent a little more than I wanted to on it, but I don't freaking care. Finally got No Retreat, No Surrender on LaserDisc. I didn't even know until this was like maybe a year or two ago that this even came out on LaserDisc. I had no freaking idea that this even came out. But great flick, always loved it. Probably one of like my top 5 favorite martial arts movies, man. I love this movie to death. I had it on VHS. I still have the tape. I wish I would have brought it out because like the next thing I'm going to show you, I did bring the tape out and I totally freaking forgot. But yeah, glad to have this one on LaserDisc. And finally, for those of you that don't already know that I did pick this up, and yeah, $75 later, but I did pick it up. Finally got a copy of Rad, and yes, this sucker's already in plastic, man. I'm just so glad to have this movie on LaserDisc. One of, I'm not even going to say top 20. I just love this movie to death. The soundtrack is incredible. The movie is so cheesy, yet it's so good. And this is where I said this is how much of a fan I am. I still keep this around. My I bought this when I was back in 2000, I want to say. Maybe 2001. I've had this cassette for like almost half of my life. I've had this cassette, and it's starting to show its age. My mission tomorrow is I'm going to restore this tape. I'm gonna get an empty shell or buy like a cheap 25-cent throwaway tape and transfer the reels over, because this thing is pretty freaking ratty. So yeah, but yeah, like I said, big fan of rad. Glad I finally have it on laser. Some guy fell into like 40 freaking brand new and factory sealed copies of this thing, and he was initially selling them for 20, and then there's a long story behind this, but I got the $75 tier, my buddy Kevin got the $50 tier, some lucky guy got the $20 tier, and now copies are going for like $150 on eBay right now. So glad I locked in my $75 price, so very happy. So that's it for the LaserDisc update. So for anyone else who doesn't want to see like the Blu-ray update, you can just tune out right now, but if you want to keep going, we're going to keep going. One person who deserves like a super big shout out is Luke Chinkata. He knows I like to collect HD DVDs, and you know, he every now and again, like he's on this like this cross country journey right now, and he's like hitting up all the used media stores and everything. And every time he finds like an HD DVD, he always like gets a hold of me and lets me know. It's like, hey dude, you want this? Hey dude, you want this? I'm like, yeah, sure, I'll take it. You know. So he got me like 3 movies in particular. One was Sneakers on HD DVD. Now, I do have this on Blu-ray, but the thing is, the commentary that's on here is different from the commentary that's on the Blu-ray. So, kind of to be a completist, I wanted the commentary, and plus Sneakers is just, like, a great freaking movie. So, one other one that I had to... Oh, man, I couldn't believe he had this. The Blu-ray is now going for, like, a lot of money. I have the Blu-ray, thank goodness. But, had to get this on HD DVD just because I'm a freaking fan of this movie. Zodiac. Freaking love this movie to death. Probably my favorite David Fincher flick. So next, I want to say either this or like Seven or Fight Club. Like those are like the big 3 for me. So finally glad to have Zodiac on HD DVD. Pretty cool. And this one he actually sent me for free just to say, hey dude, you know, thanks a lot. You know, thanks for the business. Unleashed. I actually do have this on HD DVD, but not this version. I have this the single-sided, no special features. This has the DVD and HD DVD on like a 2-sided disc, and there's special features on the other side. So cool to have this different variation of it. So that's pretty awesome. This one you already saw in one of my last update videos, Peanut Butter Solution or Operación Beurre de Pinot. Finally picked that one up. So you already heard me talk about that. Go check out my review of that movie if you didn't get a chance. And the last 5. So I took advantage of the Best Buy Memorial Day sale. Yeah, it was a little while ago, because we're already way deep into June right now. But yeah, I had to get a couple of these. Finally got number 6, 7, and 8 from the Vestron Collector Series. Now 6 and 8 were on sale. Number 7 wasn't. But here's number 6, Lair of the White Worm. Finally got that, so that'll complement my LaserDisc nicely. Here is number 8, which is The Gate. Already cracked that open to watch. I had to, man, because it's The Gate, man. It's a great freaking movie. And this one actually came from a seller over on Horror BD and DVD Collectors Facebook page named Rhonda K. Talkington. She cut me a really good deal on this. So finally got number 7, got Parents. So yeah, now I just need to get 9, 10, and 11. 9, what is it? I think... yeah, 9 is the Wishmaster set, which is already out, and then 10 is the Unholy, 11 is Warlock. So I need to get those 3. Those are next on my hit list. Finally got some of my Arrow stuff that came in. One thing that I had on pre-order. Finally got Evil Ed, and I feel kind of bad that I'm doing this video right now because you know what? I did get Brain Damage on Blu-ray too, but oh well, I forgot to grab it. But yeah, I've got Evil Ed here. I've never seen it. I bought this blind. I just know that the DVD was like so hard to come by. So I pulled the trigger, got it for like I think $22. And then, what is it? I did end up getting Brain Damage. I totally forgot to grab that one, but oh well. I'll save it for the next video, I guess. And finally, you already saw me talking about the LaserDisc. Now, ironically enough, I got this next title because I never thought I was going to get the LaserDisc. I never thought it was going to pop up. So I pulled the trigger on the Blu-ray, got it for like, I think, 18 bucks shipped off of eBay, and it took like a week to get here because I hate drop shipping services, and they always take like forever to ship to you. But yeah, finally got the Blu-ray, No Retreat, No Surrender. This does have the United States cut and the international cut. So very glad that Kino Lorber put this out, man. They This is one great Blu-ray. They did such a good job. It sucks that they had to source the US footage from a 35mm print and not the actual inner positive or the camera negative, but they worked with what they had to work with, and they pretty much did reconstruct the original US cut using that 35mm film print. So kudos to Kino Lorber for putting out a really good Blu-ray of a movie that not a lot of us ever thought we would see. So that is it for the update, guys. Not too long, not too short. You know, better than average, I guess you should say. Before I sign off, I do want to point out that I have started VHS collecting again. Now, I want to keep VHS separate from my, you know, from the LaserDisc, the Blu-rays, and the DVDs. I would love to keep those separate. So what I want you guys to do is to let me know down in the comments below if I should do a channel devoted to VHS. You know, do a little spin-off, so to speak, you know, like the VHS Chronicles or something like that, because I am starting to collect tapes again, because, you know, I guess I should tell you why I'm doing this. Over Memorial Day, I went to a Goodwill, I met one of my friends up there, and I ended up getting like all 8 Paramount Friday the 13th tapes for like literally $3.40 out the door, and that was like one of the best deals I ever got ever in my life. I never thought I would find something that cool, and that reignited me wanting to collect VHS again. So I've actually gotten like a lot of really good tapes over the last couple weeks, and I don't want to bog up, you know, these media update videos with VHS. You know, it's like, because VHS is totally separate now these days. So please let me know if you would like to see like a little side project. I can do a VHS update. Let me know. If I get a good response, I will shoot a VHS video next, and I can do one fairly quickly, because I'm limiting my VHS to Goodwills, thrift stores, anything else. I am not ordering any VHS tapes off eBay. There's absolutely no point for me to do that, because if I are, you know, I would love to have these tapes, but I don't want to spend like $9, $10, $11, $12 on one tape when I can go find it at the Goodwill for 50 cents. You know, that's the fun of the hunt. That's what I like to do. So, but anyway, guys, thank you for hanging out with me. Hope you all have a great Father's Day for all the dads out there who watch these videos, and do what I always do. Keep it spinning. Talk to you later, guys. Bye-bye.